So, um, the whole world seems to have been completely captivated by Andy Byron and Kristen Cavett lately.
Oh, absolutely. That moment at the Coldplay concert just exploded, didn't it?
It really did. Millions of views, memes everywhere, just this flood of commentary.
Yeah. Two people, caught in this really intimate moment on the Jumbotron.
And their reaction, trying to hide, it was captured forever. It just instantly became this, well, this real-time social experiment.
Exposure and public scrutiny. Yeah. It's fascinating the way these things take off.
It is. And you see it happen, but this one feels different somehow.
I know what you mean. It's more than just like typical celebrity gossip. It seems to have hit a nerve globally.
Right. And people are projecting so much onto them, onto these two strangers, their own values, their fears.
Their judgments, definitely. You see the outrage, but also, strangely, the entertainment value people find in it.
And all these wild theories about their lives, their relationships, it's all happening right now, out in the open.
And the strangest part, or maybe the most unsettling, is that as far as we know, neither Andy nor Kristen has actually said anything official.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But millions of people feel they have the right to just dissect everything. Their choices, their marriages, what happens next for them.
It's like watching this raw, unfiltered display of how we as a collective deal with exposure and shame.
And, what happens when those carefully built images just crumble suddenly. But here's the thing that's been sticking with me, and it's really where we want to go with this deep dive today.
Okay.
In all this noise, right? The memes, the moralizing, the sheer entertainment. Are we missing something deeper?
Something more profound.
Yeah. Like, what if this whole viral thing isn't just about their private lives going public?
Yeah.
What if it's actually holding up a mirror?
A mirror reflecting something back at all of us, something we maybe carry around but don't really look at.
Precisely. So this deep dive isn't really about Andy and Kristen, not specifically. It's not about condemning them or, condoning anything.
Right. It's more about what their story kind of illuminates for everyone. Our own relationships with secrets, with shame.
And that feeling, that exhausting effort it takes sometimes to keep up an image that maybe doesn't quite fit who we really are deep down.
Exactly. And for this conversation, our main source is this really insightful article from Selfie Seeker. It's called From Shame to Sovereignty: When the Mask Falls Off.
I found that article so powerful because of how it reframes the whole situation. While a lot of the world is kind of laughing or judging.
Turning it into a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah. The article really pushes back on that. It looks at what we might be missing, how this whole incident actually mirrors these universal patterns we all have. Patterns of shame, patterns of hiding.
And it introduces this really key idea: sovereignty.
Right. And it's not sovereignty in the political sense, like power over others.
No, it's described as this deep internal authority, a kind of freedom that comes when you align with your actual self, rather than just managing how you look on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And the article suggests this core pattern, this hiding and exposure, it shows up in all our lives, maybe in different ways. But the question is the same.
What happens? What happens when the thing you haven't been brave enough to face, or maybe haven't even admitted to yourself, suddenly gets dragged out into the light?
You've really nailed the core of it there. The article does a great job unpacking this by first just reminding us of the specifics of the incident itself.
Right, the facts. At that Coldplay show in Boston, Andy Byron, who's the CEO of Astronomer, was caught on the kiss cam.
Yeah, in a clearly intimate moment with Kristen Cavett, the company's HR chief.
And both of them married executives. That footage just went viral, like, instantly.
Triggering all this speculation about an affair.
And then you had fake statements popping up online, which just added to the chaos.
Right, total confusion.
Yeah.
And Byron's wife deleted her social media accounts pretty quickly.
And the internet just became what it often becomes, this instant courtroom. Judgment, speculation, spectacle.
And it's so important to state, again, like the article stresses, we're not here to judge them. We don't know their whole story, their choices, what was in their heart.
No, we don't.
But what we can see, what the article helps us see, is this ancient human pattern playing out.
That moment.
That exact moment when the identity you so carefully built crashes into this unexpected mirror, and life just cracks open this doorway you didn't choose.
But maybe, deep down, needed.
Maybe. And when that mask falls, yeah, the first feeling is almost always intense shame or panic, like the world is ending.
Total collapse.
But the other side of that coin, which the article highlights, is that these moments also reveal something more honest.
Something that was maybe hiding underneath all along, just waiting. quietly asking to be seen.
It's such a fundamental human experience, isn't it?
It really is. And those masks we wear, they can fall off in so many ways. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's...
Well, brutal.
And when it's the big secrets, the ones we've guarded most carefully, the fall is usually not gentle at all. No. And modern life, with cameras everywhere, social media, it provides endless opportunities for these devastating mirrors, as the article calls them.
Devastating mirrors. That's a powerful phrase. The article lists some examples that really hit home. Things that you, the listener, might recognize in principle, even if the specifics are different.
Yeah, like maybe your affair is caught on camera and goes viral. Or a drinking problem gets exposed because you're arrested at your kid's school event.
Or imagine financial lies you've been telling suddenly unravel because a foreclosure notice shows up at your office, where everyone can see it.
It could be an addiction discovered completely by accident, pills falling out of a purse in a board meeting.
Oh, gosh. Or realizing your double life is exposed when, say, a second family turns up unexpectedly at a funeral.
Wow. Or decades of academic fraud coming to light on the very day you're getting some big award.
These are just gut-wrenching scenarios. They feel like total annihilation. But the article keeps coming back to this idea. It's actually truth. Truth demanding to be seen.
It could be other things, too. Hidden gambling debt exposed when loan sharks start calling your spouse.
Or a secret same-sex relationship being outed by an ex-partner who wants revenge.
Or even a history of domestic violence becoming public knowledge right when you're running for office.
These moments just crash into your life uninvited.
Yeah, carrying all that weight of exposure, but also maybe the potential for liberation. They strip away what you thought you had to maintain.
And in doing that, they show you what you actually need to become. Or perhaps who you already were underneath it all.
So the big question then is, how do we navigate these moments, these utterly disorienting experiences?
Right, these devastating mirrors feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But what if there's a way through? What if there's like a map for this terrain?
Well, the source material, the Selfie Seeker article, it actually introduces something like that. It calls it a map of transformation.
Okay, tell me more about that.
It's inspired by a couple of things. David Hawkins' map of consciousness and also Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory.
Ah, polyvagal theory. So that's about the nervous system's response. Fight, flight, freeze, connection.
Exactly. It helps us understand how our nervous system is constantly scanning for safety and then responding, engaging, mobilizing, or shutting down.
So this map connects consciousness and the nervous system.
Yeah. It helps us see how our nervous system reacts to threat versus safety and how our awareness, our consciousness, can shift through these really distinct levels. It's not linear, though.
Not like climbing a ladder step by step.
No, more like spiraling. You might move through different territories of experience, and each level has its own feeling in the body, its somatic signature.
How it feels physically.
Right, and its own way of seeing reality, its own invitation for growth.
That makes sense. So when the mask falls off, we don't just like get better neatly.
No.
We navigate these different states.
Exactly. And what's really key here, the article emphasizes, is this isn't about pathology. It's not about diagnosing someone as broken.
It's more about the system's intelligence.
Precisely. The natural intelligence of your nervous system under intense pressure, trying to find its way back to some kind of wholeness, some authenticity.
Our body's holding wisdom our minds haven't caught up with yet.
That's a great way to put it. Our nervous system is always scanning for safety, connection, authenticity, even when we're not consciously thinking about it.
Okay, so how does the article apply this map to Andy and Kristen? Understanding, of course, that it's hypothetical.
Right, purely hypothetical. But it uses their situation to explore how two different people, two different nervous systems, might navigate the aftermath of such intense public exposure.
Because we don't know their real story. But their public moment gives us a window into this universal choice we all face when the mask drops.
The choice between contraction shutting down, hiding more, and expansion leaning into the truth, growing from it.
And it starts right from that initial reaction we saw on camera, doesn't it?
It does. That was pure survival response. Andy fled, literally dove behind a barrier.
Trying to escape the glare.
And Kristen froze, turned, covered her face, became small, invisible.
In that split second, both their nervous systems just screamed, danger.
Ancient wisdom kicking in. Get away or play dead. Because, as you know, the nervous system doesn't really distinguish between a physical predator and, say, global social shaming.
Threat is threat.
Threat is threat. It just says you're not safe and mobilizes. So what we saw on the Jumbotron, that was just the very beginning, the first domino.
Okay, so let's walk through these hypothetical paths the article outlines, starting with Andy.
All right. So Andy's hypothetical journey starts with that flight, but then it shifts into more of a fight response. His nervous system kicks into sympathetic arousal.
The fight or flight engine, flooding him with energy.
Right. The initial urge was flight, but you can't really run from a viral video, so it morphs into fight, trying to control the situation.
And that initial raw response is so crucial because it shapes what comes next. So level 1 is survival.
Yes. His system is flooded with adrenaline. Jaw tight, shoulders clenched, mind racing, trying to find an escape plan. It's pure biology.
Not weakness, just the nervous system doing its job.
Exactly. Then, at level 2, stability, he might move into damage control mode. Hyperactive.
Thinking about lawyers, crisis PR, crafting statements.
All frantic attempts to regain control. But his body is still highly activated. Poor sleep, maybe grinding his teeth, constantly checking his phone.
Like the performance is just continuing, but in a different, more frantic way?
Yes. Until maybe, hypothetically, there's a turning point. The article suggests maybe 3 weeks in, he's in another strategy meeting. And he just stops, mid-sentence. His body is screaming for rest. And he hears himself say, almost whispering, this isn't working.
Ah, that moment of clarity.
Yeah. Something clicks. He realizes all this effort to manage the story is just more performing. The very thing that got him into this mess.
That realization pushes him toward level 3, self-awareness. He starts to actually see his patterns.
Right. Maybe he notices the chronic tension he's carried for years, never fully relaxing, how he's managed these separate identities.
CEO, family man, the part-craving connection.
And maybe he admits, even just to himself, I don't even know who I am when I'm not performing. He might see the connection with Kristen wasn't just about desire, but about feeling seen.
Which maybe wasn't happening elsewhere.
Perhaps. But he also sees the terror that kept him stuck. The fear of not being the good father, the financial complications, losing respect. All those compartments are now blown wide open.
So then the journey moves towards level 4, integrity.
Yes. Where the focus shifts from managing the image to aligning with the truth, whatever that is. Maybe Andy makes a surprising decision, like starting therapy.
Not for damage control, but for genuine understanding.
Exactly. To figure out why he created this divided life. Maybe he realizes his marriage had become a performance too. And his body might respond with just a deep breath, a real exhale.
And the turning point there.
Perhaps recognizing that his fear of hurting others was also partly an excuse to avoid having the really hard, honest conversations he needed to have long ago.
That leads towards level 5, wholeness. Yeah. Integrating all the pieces.
Yeah, letting go of trying to be the good guy or accepting being the bad guy, just being a whole, complex human who made choices. His nervous system finds a new baseline, more flexible.
And finally, level 6, freedom, which isn't about escaping consequences.
No. The article frames it as the presence of authentic choice. He can't control how the world sees him, but he can choose his response to judgment from a grounded place. His body feels different, grounded, spacious.
Okay, that's one possible path. Now, what about Kristen's hypothetical journey? It starts differently, with freeze.
Right. Her initial reaction turning away, covering her face, might deepen. It could move into what some trauma experts call protective immobilization.
The nervous system creating safety through stillness. Dorsal vagal shutdown.
Exactly. Like the system partly goes offline. Everything feels numb, distant, unreal, conserving energy.
That's such a different response, but equally rooted in survival. So level 1 survival for her is this deepening freeze.
Yes, feeling submerged. Maybe unable to make simple decisions for a while. It's her system's ancient wisdom. When overwhelmed, become very still.
Then, level 2, stability. How might that look coming out of freeze?
As her system starts to mobilize again, she might desperately seek control, but externally, maybe through rigid routines.
Like obsessive cleaning.
Yeah.
Or organizing things with intense focus.
Yeah, or answering emails instantly, creating perfect external order to manage the internal chaos. Her body is humming with nervous energy, but it's contained, directed outward.
Seeking safety through that containment.
Exactly. Until her turning point, maybe a month later, she's reorganizing her closet for the 3rd time.
Wow.
She just stops, utterly exhausted from the constant hypervigilance. And she realizes she's been trying to control the outside because she's avoiding the deep internal work this is demanding.
Another moment of painful clarity. That brings her to level 3, self-awareness.
Right. She starts noticing how much energy has always gone into being professional, appropriate, correct.
Living by others' expectations.
So much so that she's forgotten what she actually wants. And maybe there's grief there for the parts of herself she kept hidden or small.
And she sees her marriage differently, too.
Perhaps realizing it was often a careful performance of contentment and the connection with Andy. Maybe it wasn't just attraction, but feeling seen for who she was, not just the roles she played.
But then there's the conflict with her identity as a mother.
Huge conflict. Loving her children fiercely, terrified of them seeing her as selfish or a failure.
So level 4, integrity, for her, looks different.
It might. Maybe in therapy, she starts speaking honestly about these impossible choices, feeling alive with Andy, but devastated at the thought of hurting her kids. She explores the weight of it all.
And a radical decision.
Maybe it's quieter. She decides to stop managing everyone else's opinion of her. That could mean taking leave, shifting roles, just starting to say no more often, finding alignment in smaller internal ways.
And the physical feeling.
Deep relief, like setting down an impossible burden.
And then level 5, wholeness, accepting all parts.
Yes. Her professional skill and her human imperfections, not trying to be healed or better, just whole. Her nervous system finds its own regulation, maybe quieter, more contained than Andy's hypothetical path.
Which leads to an important point the article makes. She might reach wholeness, but maybe not that same outward expression of freedom as Andy.
Right, and that's not failure. It's her nervous system finding her version of sovereignty. Maybe it needs more containment, more privacy, a quieter authenticity. That's valid, powerful even.
So these two paths illustrate how we might spiral through these levels, not always moving forward.
Definitely not linear. You might slip back. Andy hits integrity, then maybe new media attention throws him back into stability seeking for a bit. It's dynamic.
It's the nervous system adapting under pressure.
Exactly. And the key isn't that one path is better, it's that different systems respond differently to the same trigger. Andy's fight response leads one way. Kristen's freeze leads another. Both hold wisdom. Both lead toward authenticity, just via different routes.
And we must keep saying, these are illustrations, hypotheticals. Their real journeys are their own, complex and private.
Absolutely. Deserving respect, not speculation.
But through these hypotheticals, a really profound idea emerges. Their bodies knew all along.
Yes. The tension, the exhaustion, the hypervigilance. Those weren't signs of failure. They were signals from a system under immense pressure, trying to maintain something unsustainable.
The crisis didn't create the core problem, it just ripped the cover off it.
Exactly. The mask falling isn't a character flaw, it's an invitation. An invitation to finally see what lives underneath the performance.
That is such a crucial shift in perspective. These moments that feel like rupture, like the end, they're actually openings.
Always openings, a chance to begin again.
But this time not from a place of shame, from sovereignty, from that internal authority.
Think about what becomes possible then, when we stop performing and actually start listening to ourselves.
And while the world is busy laughing or judging this situation,
We're missing the deeper reflection, how this mirrors our own patterns, the exhaustion of living divided lives, the weight of our secrets, the fear of being truly seen.
their viral moment, in its essence, could happen to any of us. Maybe not on a jumbotron, but the exposure, the falling mask.
The question isn't, am I better than them? It's, what can I learn here about my own hiding and my own potential for healing?
So let's make this personal for a moment, for you listening right now. Take a breath.
And consider your secret. You probably know the one. The one that makes your chest feel tight when you even think about it.
The one that makes you quickly change the subject if a conversation gets too close.
Or maybe the one that wakes you up at 3 a.m., heart pounding with that familiar anxiety.
What is it? Maybe it's an old affair your partner still doesn't know about.
Maybe it's the drinking that feels like it's slipping out of your control. Or gambling. Or maybe skimming a little from the company account.
Maybe it's something from long ago. A child given up for adoption. An abortion nobody knows about. Lying about your qualifications for years.
Or maybe it's quieter, but just as heavy. Being emotionally absent from your family while looking like the perfect parent.
Secretly planning to leave a marriage that looks idyllic from the outside.
Or maybe just the deep, aching feeling of living a life that feels completely inauthentic. So far from who you really are that you've almost forgotten that person.
Okay, hold that secret in your mind for a second. Now imagine.
What if tomorrow, completely out of your control, that secret became the #1 trending topic online?
Captured on camera. Leaked in an email. Revealed by someone you trusted.
What if the thing you fear most, being truly seen, flaws and all, happened? Not gently over time, but suddenly, virally, publicly.
We tell ourselves we keep secrets to protect others, don't we?
Often. But if we're honest, often we're protecting ourselves. Protecting the version of us we think the world demands.
Affecting the image, the reputation, the relationships we fear wouldn't survive the whole truth.
The world is treating Andy and Kristen's story like entertainment. But what if it's really an invitation for all of us?
A mirror for our own divided lives.
So here's the question to sit with. If your mask was ripped away like that, publicly, would you spend all your energy trying to tape it back together?
Or would you use that energy somehow to discover who you are without it, even knowing millions were watching your every move?
Which choice would you make? And maybe more importantly, what is your body telling you right now if you could just stop running long enough to actually listen?
These moments of rupture, they are never the end. They are openings.
Always a chance to begin again. Not from shame, from sovereignty.
That mask falling off. It's not a failure. It's a profound invitation.
The crisis itself, however painful, isn't the enemy. It's often the sculptor.
Sometimes the most loving thing life can do is just crack us open, so wide that we can't pretend to be small anymore.
And just to reiterate, this deep dive was never about judging specific choices.
No. It's about recognizing that universal pattern, that gap most of us carry between who we really are and who we think we need to be.
So while the world laughs or points fingers, we wanted to explore what this moment reveals about all of us. Our collective relationship with shame, with authenticity.
And the quiet courage it takes to live an undivided life.
For anyone who wants to explore this framework of sovereignty more personally, we've put together a free PDF resource.
It's called the 6 Levels of Sovereignty. It's a tool you can use to reflect on your own journey toward wholeness and that authentic freedom we've been talking about. You can find the link in the show notes.